today, I hope, it's just, and I don't mean to sound paternalistic, let's draw inspiration from these people who answered the mighty call of service to serve in the United States military, especially those who served in combat. We can do the little things day in and day out that honor that service, not just on Veterans Day, but every day by doing a little bit more for our community. Showing up, so volunteering at a homeless shelter, tutoring a child, cleaning our streets, and showing up to vote. Those things count, and we honor our veterans the most when we do those little things. That's what they expect of us, because you picture in your minds right now, there are kids going from New Bedford who are on patrol in the mountains of Afghanistan, or on a cruiser in the middle of the Pacific, or elsewhere serving this country. And that's what they report of us. So let's do right by them and do a little bit extra, extend ourselves, just as all of you have present here today, in honoring them. Thank you so much, everyone.
And now I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker. Mayor Mitchell highlighted some of the aspects of this person's commitment to government as having served, but he's also the newest elected city school committeeman. At this time, I'd like to introduce representing Post 1, the American Legion, Chris A. Potter.
Good morning. I want to thank everybody for coming out on such a cold, blistery day. But as the mayor pointed out, this is nothing compared to what our veterans are facing on a daily basis overseas. I would like to thank the mayor, the city, David Alves, Bob Bromley, Chris Gomes for inviting me and asking me to be the keynote speaker. I was very much in shock that that request was made, but I am very honored and very privileged to be the speaker today. What does Veterans Day mean to me? Growing up, I had grandfathers who had honorably served in World War II. My fathers and all my three uncles had served during the Korean conflict. I was raised to be a proud American and to honor those who served in the defense of our great nation. My father, who never talked about his wartime experiences, always made sure that any remembrance for veterans was attended and that I was always there with them. As a youth, my participation was in parades, marching with the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, elementary band, junior high band, and the New Bedford High School Whaler band. It didn't matter how involved I was in parades and remembrances. I always knew that it was not just a day off from school or work, but it was a way to say thank you to those who were allowing us to participate in that parade. However, all my pride that I had learned changed when I chose to enlist in the Massachusetts Army National Guard. The basic training that I attended provided me with a whole new understanding of not just what being a service member was about, but also that of what being a combat veteran is and what they went through. My drill sergeants had been in combat in Vietnam, and some were most recent combat veterans involving the recent Grenada conflict in 1983. But there are some who see basic training as a form of brainwashing that I would like you all to know that that is not the case at all. What does take place is a transformation of young men and women who at the time of enlistment need to know it all. They transform into those young adults who were given a history of what, in my own case, the U.S. Army and other branch of services are all about, and what it means to be a soldier. Once graduation arrives, our young men and women are graduating with an overwhelming sense of pride of not letting down those who have served before us, and above all else, served this great nation, the United States of America, with honor, commitment, and pride. For full disclosure, my reason for joining the military was a selfish one. It was basically for the GI Bill because my parents couldn't afford college and I had run out of money as well. Besides, in my mind, it was safe to join the National Guard at that time because they hadn't been activated in any war since Vietnam. And that was over 20 years prior to my decision to join. Well, I will admit that the GI Bill was worth enlisting as it did assist with college, but I was wrong when I thought that I wouldn't have to worry about any military activation. It did happen, which had earned me the title of being a veteran, which I am very proud to be today. The bond that you have with those you served in the beginning of basic training up to your assigned units is a bond that you'd never lose. Almost 30 years out of basic training, I'm still in contact with those that I served with in both basic and active duty. And then there's my family. grandfathers Arthur Cotter Sr., Harold Cornforth Jr., uncles Harold Cornforth Jr., David Cargill, Arthur Cotter Jr., my father Thomas Cotter Sr., as well as several co-workers who have proudly served. And I want to say thank you. I will always be extremely loyal to the men and women who have chosen to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So to all those who have served or are currently serving, God bless you and thank you for your service. I also want to give a special recognition to one of my closest friends, First Sergeant Dean Lawrence, retired, who is to me what I describe as the epitome of what being a soldier and a veteran is all about. He is a true friend and a brother in arms, and I've shared memories with him that will last me a lifetime. In closing, thank you for the honor of speaking with you, and again I say thank you to every veteran who has served this great nation. So please, if you come across a veteran who proudly wears a hat, pin, jacket, or any other item that displays their service, please approach them and say thank you. It's just a small token of thanks for the large sacrifices these men and women have made for our country. Again, thank you, and God bless this great United States of America.
At this time, I'd like to ask Council President Gomes to step up for a quick moment. We'll do our closing.
Thank you very much, Councilor Alves. First of all, let me thank Councilor Alves on his service to this country and his service to his city and his being the MC of this Veterans Day ceremony on a constant basis. Let me say to you today, thank you to the veterans and those serving us overseas from the bottom of my heart. You know, this morning I called the mayor early this morning and I said, are we on? And he said, we are still on. We honor those that have served us. I hung up the phone, I got into the car and I was driving here and I seen them winds at 40 miles an hour and the rain was coming down. And I said to myself in my heart, I said, you know, for the sacrifice that those men and women have made for my country, for me to walk down Union Street today, representing my city and saying thank you for their service was nothing compared to what they have been through. So I stand here on behalf of my colleagues, each and every one of them in the New Bedford City Council, and say thank you from the bottom of our hearts to all our veterans and those serving us overseas. We also asked for the podium for a special recognition. As I said, Councilor Alves has been here and he has been the beacon on the City Council as representing our veterans. He has taught me about the veterans and taught me of many issues pertaining to the veterans, and we have been a council that no matter when we're split on certain issues, there's one issue that we have never been split on, and that was the men and women that serve our country, the men and women that come from the city of New Bedford, the men and women that serve us and keep our freedom alive. And we thank you for that, David. We thank the veterans for that. With that said, I would like to call to the podium only other veteran on the City Council at the present time for a brief presentation to Councilor Alves for his services rendered. Jim Oliveira, Councilor Ward 1.
Two days ago, I spoke with the Council President Gomes and said that as a veteran, Dave Alves has provided the city of New Bedford with great service. He was in the Army in the 60s, served during the Vietnam conflict, and came back to New Bedford to serve again as a city councilor for 24 years. He's a member of various veterans organizations, too numerous to recant at this point in time. But I can tell you something, when it comes to supporting parades, supporting any of the events, and just making sure that these events like today have been memorialized over the last 24 years. So we have a resolution from the council, and it's here hereby known to all that the City Council of Bedford, Massachusetts hereby offers sincerest congratulations to Dave Alves in recognition of your unwavering support as a veteran and member of the New Bedford City Council to march and support the annual Veterans Day Parade for over 24 years. The entire citizenry extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion, expressing hope and continued good fortune, given this 11th day of November 2015. Signed by Council President Brian Gomes, myself, Councilor Oliveira, and the entire City Council. Thank you very much.
Now for our closing. Amanda.
Again, we pray. We say thank you for your service. The next time you say that to someone, look into the eyes and see what they've done. Behold what they've done. Don't look over their shoulders. Look them in the eyes and celebrate the true treasure they've been for us. Thank you for your service. Help us not only appreciate that service, but to live that thankful spirit by the way we continue to serve the needs of our nation and our community.
Now we take a moment to retire the cover, the colors. Amanda? Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to a close, I want to thank you on behalf of the Greater New Bedford Veterans Council, the Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council, the City of New Bedford, and all of the veterans who are here and who should be here. I want to say thank you for joining us this morning to recognize our veterans, recognize those who have given it all to our and for our country so that we could enjoy, even in this weather, an opportunity to come together. It's a pleasure to have you with us. We will all look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you for being here. God bless America. God bless our veterans. Thank you.
A child's drawing, an American flag, combat boots, flowers. Thousands of mementos like these are left at the Vietnam Memorial Wall every year. Silent messages that say, you are not forgotten. A quarterback, a class clown, a natural leader, someone's son, someone's father, someone's best friend. For those who died in the Vietnam War, the greatest tribute is to see them not just as names on the wall, but as the people they were. The Education Center at the wall will put faces to the names. It will preserve photos, letters, and mementos of veterans, so their stories and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Call or click now. Help us build it.